Live from the City of Angels, it's Sunday night. The Sunday Evening Spectacular is underway. Tonight, it's Influencer Hell. The film space has been taken over by shills. And I want you to come in tonight and tell me who is the biggest shill in the entire film space. You see your options. Far right-hand corner of the page. Make your selection. Simply enter the number, and we'll have the results shortly on this Sunday night live from Los Angeles. Also tonight, 3X MMTEs, including our new #1 film of 2026. I love saying that. It's going to be a good night here. Thanks for joining. Let's get into it. So as you guys know, there's no one in this space who calls out the shieldom more than me. Because there's one thing that MMT has never, ever, nor ever will be accused of, is being inauthentic, shilling for a studio, or any phony bullshit. This is the real deal. We are the gold standard. And we've earned that, have we not? When we say something, we mean it. No one is backing that from a studio, paying us money. Wait till you find out what we uncovered tonight about one of our shills. Because at the end of the day, remember, I'm a journalist. That's what I used to do way back when I was on TV news. I was a journalist, and I always believed in the credo that you are objective and you dig for truth, and you're always trying to find every single bit of information you can about any subject before you render a verdict. And tonight, I think it's pretty clear that the people we're going to drag deserve it. I mean, there's no arguing that. And the fact that they are proud in their shieldom, and the fact that some of you have elevated these people to a status that is far beyond their actual worth, is the reason that we have to do the dragging again tonight. And we'll do this periodically, you know? I mean, it doesn't have to just be one night or two nights. We can do it all the time. As you guys know, we have the shill of the week. In fact, one of our shills, and you can see we already have a race between two. You can see the three options down there. And the one at the bottom is who we're going to start with tonight. This is Influencer Hell, is what I'm calling this stream. And you can thank people like Matt Soups Ramos for everything that's about to go down. Because this is a dude who came into the space via TikTok and became the movie influencer of note right after COVID. Kind of during COVID came up, and then we were exposed to him ad nauseum over the past several years. This is a guy who is very proud to be a shill. As we go to his Instagram page here tonight, and by the way, I'll get to as many comments as possible. As always, we do that. If I don't get to it early, I'll get to it late. We have the comment blast closeout. By the way, tonight, our brand new graphics package. Give me a name for it. I have not yet given this an artistic title. I am open to your suggestions. But as we look here at Matt Soups Ramos, you're talking about an Instagram account here with 400,000 plus followers alone. I'm not looking at TikTok because I don't care about TikTok. I'm not 22, but I guess he's even bigger there. But as we scroll down, we're going to start with a real problem here in this town.
What's up, guys?
This action right here. We get ready to watch it, okay? This is Soups getting flown overseas for the world premiere of the soon-to-drop Michael Jackson biopic. Michael, here's his reaction to the film after getting flown to Germany to watch the film, put up in 5-star accommodations, given per diem, I assume, and flown back home here to Los Angeles. He didn't pay a penny. I wonder if that influenced what he's about to say. Have a listen.
We got the Michael world premiere in Berlin, and we're about to watch the movie. I will catch you guys after.
Guys, I just got out. That is the best musical biopic of all time, and one of the greatest theater experiences of my life. The entire theater from start to finish was singing, dancing. It was electric. This man, Jafar Jackson, he just gave the performance to beat for the rest of the year. I can't say enough about it. His voice from his first line of dialogue had the theater going crazy because he's just that good. His singing, his dancing, he brought the heart and soul, like, to every single scene he's in. The entire cast too. It wasn't just Jafar, but man, he's got to be nominated for Best Actor already, bro. Like, he is just that good. The songs, the scenes, there's so much to talk about, dude. It's perfect. This is the movie we wanted. This is the ultimate love letter to Michael fans.
Again, I'm sorry. It was hard enough to get to that point until I had to hear love letter. I swear, if Soups were here, we would have some really nasty situation because I can't stand the use of that. Stop saying love letter. But again, let's just talk for a second here, okay? Our boy here, Soups, was flown to Berlin, right? I think that's where it was. And he watched the film, and then he comes out and says it's the greatest musical biopic of all time. Perfect for a poster. Perfect for a tweet, right? The tweet has millions of impressions. We'll look at that in a second. So you look at the problem. Okay, what's the problem, Weber? Because you are now working synergistically with the studio to create bullshit headline about the film. Maybe it's great, but do you guys not see the problem that we have? Because you're looking at someone who was paid to go and then come out and do his end of the deal and say it's the greatest biopic ever. And because we have no more credibility in the space outside of MMT, you allow anyone to issue a quote. And because Matt Soups Ramos called it the best biopic of all time, then musical. Sorry, let me add that qualifier. You now have a quote you can run with. And he's not going to come out and say it's bad. He just got flown to Germany. He's part of the studio system. But yet, here's the thing. Can we talk? This is what makes me furious. I'm the problem. Weber's the problem. He's so toxic. He's really the issue in the film space. When you have people like this dude and our boy Brandon Davis coming up next, who are the real fucking problem. You guys need to get your shit together. I've said it 1,000 times. There's 1,001. I'm the hero in the space, not the villain. This is the villain. This dude who is milking the system. Oh, by the way, this is where it gets fun. You guys ready for this? I didn't know this until now. Okay, Kevin, I'll get to that. Just 1 second. You wait. This is the news. That's coming. Leave it up. It's coming. You guys ready? Here comes what I unearthed via the rap. Now, we make fun of the rap all the time because we call it like the redheaded stepchild of the Hollywood rag system, as it were. And you look at it and they rarely do anything that matters when it comes to journalism. They're just kind of like nobody cares. But in this case, I'm going to give the rap for the first time, I think, ever on MMT. Here's your love, the rap. I want to give you a giant heart emoji for this. Did you know that Soups was paid to promote Snake Eyes? Remember that with Henry Golding from a few years back? Not a great film. Did you see what he got paid? He got paid $8,500. So Paramount paid Ramos $8,500 to produce content hyping Snake Eyes. So now we have confirmation the studios are paying this dude who is everything that's wrong in the movie space. How has this not come to light? How has no one dragged him endlessly for this? This is whoredom. You are nothing more than a Hollywood street hooker, Ramos. Nothing more. You could have been the one selected by Hugh Grant way back in the mid-90s if you're even alive. But you weren't. You're like 20-something. You know nothing about the history of cinema. And you sit here and you talk about the greatest of all time. Dude, you haven't even seen... How do you say the greatest of all time when you haven't seen all of them? You haven't seen... Dude, this is... Guys... He got paid. The studios are paying this guy. So now that I know that they're paying him for Snake Eyes, why can't we just go ahead and say that Lionsgate paid him to say what he said about Michael? You see the slippery slope? Well, of course we can say that. Until Lionsgate proves to me they didn't. And by the way, they did pay him with the trip. But what if they paid him the trip plus cash? What's $5,000 to a studio? $10,000 for a quote. And the fact that you guys don't drag this shit endlessly, like you should be in the middle of the stream going to his Twitter and dragging him, sending him this link and saying, you are, again, everything that's wrong with this town. Studios love. He's a useful idiot. And that's, I mean, has there ever been a more useful idiot than this guy? But look, getting paid. This is next level shit right now. Couple comments. Here comes the first super chat of the night. Thank you, Kevin. Let's get to it. All three are talentless D-bags who think their words matter more than most. They get paid for their inauthenticity, lack of integrity, and 85 BS takes. This is what happens. I got my sunglasses on. I look like 85. Listen, I'm also no longer 22 myself. But look at that. It's true. And look, right now in the lead with the poll, you can see Matt Soups Ramos. I mean, listen, it's hard with Erick Davis and Brandon Davis. Brandon's next. I mean, Erick, well, actually, let's drag Erick right now. Let's go ahead and drag Erick Davis right now. So I found this tweet from back in 2022 where he talks about, you know, he had this manager, because that's where that article is, that he's getting paid $8,500. The manager was kind of taking money and wasn't really doing the right thing. So in that article comes out the fact that Ramos is getting paid cash from Paramount and other studios. Okay. But look, I go down and it talks about, this is him and the manager, Ramos. Look who chimed in about how the manager was bad. Erick Davis. So you've got shill to shill on. Look at this. They're on top of each other. They're doing it, man. This is some nasty shit. You got them both together. Stories like this drive me nuts. I'm sorry you went through it, Matt. If you read the story, Erick, wouldn't you be commenting you got paid $8,500 from a studio to promote a movie? Did anyone say that? This is, by the way, this is all that article. I'm looking. Did anyone say that he got paid $8,500? No. Everyone's like, you're awesome. Oh, good job. Way to get rid of that manager. No one's talking about the fact that you got paid $8,500. This person, Josh 986400185. You're a living god. Who are these people? Is this Soups? Who the fuck is Josh 986400185? Are you a simp? Who are you? Are you a Soup simp? That's messed up. You're calling Soups a god? Shit. I mean, we don't advise you call us gods, but I mean, we're way more gods than this dude. You guys ready to go to number 2? Let's get into it about our other guy. You talk about a guy with an ego. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's listen to, hold on. I was gonna skip Soups talking about how the real reason he's in this, and it's not gonna surprise you. Why do you think Soups wants to do this? Listen to what he has to say. Listen up.
I'm trying to work and collaborate with all of the major studios that I've grown up loving their projects. I'm trying to, walk the red carpets and attend cool events because
exactly. That's what these influencers want. He's on record saying this, right? I want to walk the red carpet. I want to be part of the event because he thinks he's a star, right? Soups thinks he's actually like one of them. And so does our next guy. They really do. And let me tell you something. As I get ready to go to our next guy, isn't it something? What's the name of this channel? Can you guys help me out? It's called Midnight Movie Talk. Okay? It's been called Midnight Movie Talk forever. Guess what I added today? With Eric Weber. Do you know why? Because I didn't name my show like the next guy did. The Brandon Davis Show. That's how big an ego this guy has. Brandon Davis. You guys want to talk about Brandon Davis for a minute? Let's talk about Brandon. Because I mention this all the time when we talk about being someone who is influential in the space. I don't think it's just about your authenticity within the space and you being objective and you not being a shill. I think it extends, frankly, beyond. I think it extends out to you as a good person. And when I went back and forth with Brandon Davis the other day for calling him out for having 100,000 subscribers and 3,000 views on his live streams, okay? 100,000, 3,000. That is a 3% return rate on YouTube. Our return rate on average on YouTube here at MMT is 15, 20% on our lives. 15 to 20%, sometimes higher, as high as 50%. Okay. And that is not what I'm seeing. So here's my thing. How do you have a 3% return rate and I've got a 20? It shows you that people really like what they watch here. And here's the other thing, Brandon. I'm going to let you in on a little secret, Brandon. And this is for you. And I can't believe you don't understand this. People aren't watching you. They are watching you for your content about talking about Marvel, about talking about wrestling, about talking about, they're looking for your guest. They're not watching you. You're not the star. It's not the Brandon Davis Show. It's the Brandon Davis Show with who's the guest, because that's all I care about. That's who you are. The difference between me and you is that I am the fucking headline act here. I don't need a second person. I don't need a star. We are the main fucking event here. And I've proven that over and over. And the fact that you even consider yourself even in the same realm as me is an embarrassment to all of journalism in its entirety, okay? But dude, let's talk about, and this is why I'm going to drag you, not just because of the ego and to remind you that it's not you, it is your content. And that's, again, it sounds like it's the same thing. It's who you're talking about, not you. And here's the other thing. You're also apparently a shitbag of a person, according to what I'm reading. You guys ready for this? Let's listen and you guys decide. This is, again, you guys can decide. Listen to what this person has to say about Brandon Davis and a relationship that he had. And this is, again, on the record. This is not stuff I'm dragging out of nowhere. Here is from a video I found called Why is Marvel Fandom So Sleazy? Listen up.
Here is Eleanor at Snitchery exposing the love rat, Brandon Davis.
We were dating for a year and a half. It was really happy, really fun the whole time. Really never questioned anything, except a couple times where I felt like he was lying to me. I discovered 2 weeks ago that he was in fact lying to me, talking to more other women that I can count on 2 hands, going on dates, FaceTiming, at least one of them a fan of his, as young as 18. He's 30. I know this because he sent me screen recordings. I want to make it clear that to my knowledge, he never met up with this 18-year-old, but at the time that the flirtatious messages started, her most recent photo was a prom picture, and it made me extremely uncomfortable. This breakup was traumatic. It was over 80 hours long. I did break up with him once I discovered the other women, but once I saw the 18-year-old, I went no contact.
Let's see.
Okay. So here's a bunch of tweets in reply. Again, I can't verify all this. This is his girlfriend, but my point is here's the deal, is that it's not just about being an objective journalist. It's about being a good person, okay? As I told you guys last week, I have never, in any relationship I've ever been in, including my marriage, have never cheated in my life, okay? I've had plenty of opportunities on a platter, and I said no because I am a man of very strong conviction, and you guys can probably imagine when I believe in something, that's just what it is. So I believe that being a good person is important too. So finding this out about someone is something else. But here's the deal. It's the same story. Now, it's the same thing that we're talking about with Soups here with Brandon. Let's talk about it. So look, here's his tweet on Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Read it. It's the most effed up movie I've ever watched in the theater. Relentlessly and viciously haunting with ghoulish scares that intimately textured violence. I had to look away many times. James Wan is on it, and Conjuring fans will love it. It's insane. Okay, now, okay, fine, whatever. Maybe he thinks that. Here's the issue. Look where it was given at the Mummy press conference. This is on his channel. Here he is at the Mummy press conference. Now, here's the question. You come out of the movie and you say this movie's bad. And by all indications, the test ratings say this movie's awful. Okay, I'm going to see it on Thursday because I need to see it to find out. Because if it's as bad as I anticipate it being, then we are going to have a major problem on Thursday, because again, we're going to drag this all up again, and this is going to become more of an issue because here comes someone saying things to get quoted. As you guys know, he called The Creator the greatest film of the year when he hadn't even seen every film. This guy hasn't watched half the films. He hasn't seen our number one film of the year, The Christophers. I guarantee he hasn't. If he tells you he has, he's lying. He's going to see it tonight to cover his ass. But here's the deal, is that he's at the press conference. The reason he's at the press conference because he's going to accentuate positive. He's going to say it's good. If you don't think it's good, you're just going to say, hey, man, this film's scary. It's got some really cool moments. Whatever. That's it. He's really leaning into it because he has to get invited to these things, to continue to be on Warner Brothers in particular. Warner Brothers is the Mummy. Then you better say the right things or you're out. You're gone, and they're not inviting you back. Yeah, really. WrestleMania. Listen, here's the deal. Here's the deal. I'm going to call all this out. And if you want to call me out for something, go for it. You can't. What are you going to call me out for? Being mean? You're not going to call me out for being inauthentic. You're not going to call me out for being inobjective, as it were. Let's add a new word to the vocabulary tonight. Unobjective. You're just not. You're going to say to yourself, this guy is too much. He's overbearing. He's too mean. He should just go along to get along. Not my thing. And so that's it. If you want to make a video about me, what are you going to say? He says mean things. What are you going to say? You don't have some girl say, oh, look what he did, this dirtbag. Yeah, good luck. Go find it. Have fun with that. You're not going to, okay? Like I said a million times before, if I had any dirt in my past, whatever it may be, you don't think it'd be dragged up? You don't think all that would already be out there with the film Twitter weirdos out there that already think Weber's the worst guy? Not Brandon Davis, not Soups. No, it's Weber. What? Okay, so trust me, they would. So that's the thing. I'm calling you out for what you are, okay? You want to call me out for what I am? You don't have anything. He's mean. He's opinionated. He goes too hard on films. Those aren't things. Those are not things. You texting an 18-year-old girl who looks like she's a prom picture, according to this girlfriend of his, that's a little more problematic. Would you guys agree or not? Help me out. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, please come in the comments and tell me. Honesty is number one important quality in a critic. In my opinion, nothing else even comes close. Well, you don't have anything from these two then. And then you go to an Erick Davis who works for Fandango, and everything he says is run through the lens of selling tickets, right? You work for Fandango, you got to sell tickets. So this is the issue, right? We're surrounded by shills in this space. And my job is to consistently and constantly call these sons of bitches out. And I don't care, because I'm on the right on this. I'm not in the wrong. What I'm doing is not the bad thing. What I'm doing is the right thing. What I'm doing is shining a light on this space and calling out Soups for getting paid $8,500 to promote Snake Eyes for Paramount. Okay? If Paramount paid it, Warner Brothers has paid it. Lionsgate, even though they have no money, they paid it. There's a fee, right? You guys have seen this whole thing, that Dom dude on X right now. He charges so much money for a retweet, for a quote, whatever it may be, because it's promotion. The studios are paying Soups, likely paying Brandon Davis. They're paying these people. We know they're paying Soups. I can probably find out if Brandon Davis getting paid. Guess how much money I've been paid from studios? Let me help you out. That $0 fucking. Zero. Go look through the transactions. Good luck. Guess what I got? Some FYC DVDs. I have never been paid a penny from a studio, and I would never take a penny from a studio because my word is not for sale. And you guys know that. I'd be a lot richer if I was a total scam artist like these dudes. If I were a grifter. I am so anti-grifter. You can't even get more so. It's repulsive to me to be a grifter. I can't imagine going through life pushing something because you're trying to get some kind of reward. You are authentic or you are not. And the majority of people, frankly, in the world are inauthentic. The fact that you found someone who is 1,000% authentic is pretty fucking rare. Whatever space you're talking about, certainly in this space for sure. She's still in high school, shaking your head. I mean, listen, I don't know. I mean, again, I'm just talking about from what this girl said, right? From what the girl in the video said, his girlfriend, as we look at some of these tweets, as young as 18, he's 30 at the time. So, that's too old. Okay, guys, listen, I'm older than 30. If I'm dating an 18-year-old, yeah, what the fuck? Okay, that's not like, first of all, I'm not doing that. What are we talking about? And why are you talking? Okay, but yeah, it's just creepy in and of itself. When I was 30, I was dating my future wife. And I was like, and she's a couple years younger than me. So it was like, whatever, it's not like it's just, dudes, it's icky, right? For lack of a better word. And I don't know if she's in high school or not. Obviously, that's the issue. But either way, it's problematic. And then it speaks back to the person. So right now, then you just are tarnished on the person. You've seen this dude who's running for California governor. Fuck politics. I'm just going to mention it quickly. And all of a sudden, he's coming in with creepy DMs and shit. Okay, well then what are we talking about? Oh, by the way, someone's going to say, oh, you went into the DMs of some girl. Remember, there's a film girl. Came in, I said, hey, do you want to go see a movie? That's not creepy. She came into my DMs or whatever. It's no big deal. That's not fucking creepy. Me sending a nude, creepy. Me with an 18-year-old, creepy. These things, that's no contest, okay? So don't even start with that. Don't even start with that. Trust me, if there were dirt on me that was major, it would be out there. These people have been digging. There just isn't. I don't have a video made from an ex of me going, look, he was hitting on an 18-year-old. I mean, obviously, I would refute it because it's not true. So has Brandon, here's a question. I'll open the floor. I sent him the tweet. He saw it. Brandon, you never replied? I gave you a chance. I gave you up until time that we went tonight to reply. You never did. So I'm going to assume it's true. Because if you don't have a comment to the story, then it's true, right? Is it not? Would you not? Tell me if I'm wrong, guys, and then we'll get into our first film evaluation tonight. But yeah, by the way, our show of the week is Soupy Doopy. We're gonna call him Soupsy Doopsy. That's his new name. Can just so you guys can see. His name is Soupsy Doopsy. The one time I would take money from a studio would be writing or directing for a film. Exactly, Kevin. I mean, right? So here it is. Here's our MMT show of the week. It's Soupsy Doopsy. So from now on, if we talk about Ramos, it's Soupsy Doopsy. I do want to give myself a little love because why not, right? Project Hail Mary has hit 500 million. You're saying, well, who cares? I mean, well, no, of course you should care, but why should you really care? Because I called it. And I called it before it opened. I called it many, many moons ago. Okay, back in early February, so 2 months ago, I said it would not surprise me if this film got to 500 million. Here's the proof, because I always have to have a receipt. For some reason, Weber's got to have the receipts. Everyone else can just say it, but Weber's got to have the fucking receipts. You guys ready? Here it is. Call me bullish on Project Hail Mary, but 500 million plus worldwide would not shock me in the least. You're going to get loads of Oscars nominations because box office is going to help propel that awards momentum even as we are earlier in the year. Yes, guess what? I nailed another one. Look, today, 510 million worldwide. They're saying somewhere between 650 and 720 on the finish. There you go. I mean, again, Weber's right. The ace, bang, target, hit, MMT receipt delivered here on this Sunday night. That's what we do. We deliver receipt upon receipt. Okay. That's our specialty, and we appreciate your patronage. Okay, guys, get ready. It's time for our number one film of 2026. Out of nowhere, we have it. It is from Steven Soderbergh. It is The Christophers. I'm going to explain why this has instantly vaulted to our number one film of the year momentarily. Here comes our MMTE live on Midnight Movie Talk.
We have 8 canvases from Dad's only good period, which he abandoned.
It's a forgery job.
Forge through them until they're completed.
Oh, they're not even clever, those two.
Hi, Dad.
Blame their mothers, not me. I had nothing to do with them. What makes you think you could do it?
I guess that's where the art of it comes in.
Interesting. It's almost worth staying alive for.
Okay, so this is in limited release right now, New York, LA. It'll expand to you, or at least closer to you, coming up this weekend. Man, what a recommendation on this film. I love character-driven films. You guys know that. I love two-handers. Okay, go back to The Master. I think it's his best PTAs. You know, you talk about when you get two actors who are playing at the top of their game, and here you have both. You have Sir Ian McKellen, and if he's not Oscar contender for Best Actor, we are really doing it wrong. But we've done it wrong for so long, it won't surprise me. But this might be one of his last roles. You talk about a guy who, in the movie, they even discuss the fact that, hey, this is an artist. In the movie, he plays an artist who is about ready to pass away. And I'll tell you what, when you watch the film, you think to yourself, this might be one of the last time we see him, and what a way to finish. I mean, this is a role that was written just perfectly for him. He delivers it with the irascible nature that he can, and it's just so smart, right? The dialogue is witty. It's got a lot of really deep thoughts, I think, that are presented as simple, and when you sit there and you think on them for a second, they just hit much harder than you anticipated. I think you look at this actress, Michaela Coel. Wow, never seen her before. She has to be great because she's opposite McKellen, and she is. She plays the artist who's hired to essentially rip off McKellen's art, okay? It's a long story. I want to get into it. That's our synopsis, okay? There's not much more. You don't need to know anything. You need to know that you've got two actors who are both at Oscar level, and they are in this film for basically its entirety of this tight 90-minute runtime, which is always going to be, again, a positive for us. It's not why we recommend a film, but it's another yes for this. And then you also look at the score. I like it. It's from Holmes, who used to be an English DJ producer, and it's got some choices that I'm not really expecting. It's shot in London. You've got that setting that works. I think that Soderbergh does a really nice job of bringing that in and making you feel like you visited there with the pubs and the lofts and all the stuff that you got going on in this. I think it's Steven Soderbergh's best film in decades. If you were to ask me the last great film he had, and you ready for this? Some of you are not going to understand what I'm saying, but you got to trust me on this. Magic Mike is a hella good film. That goes back to 2012. You're talking about 14 years that I have waited to be as impressed with a film from Steven Soderbergh as I am here tonight with the... What's it called again? The Christophers. But it really is. What a surprise. Tonight I was saying to myself, this is why I like coming to the movie theater, to enjoy films like this with a 94% MMT score. Number one film of the year right now is The Christophers, and it is exactly the kind of thing we want to watch, where it is screenplay. Direction is fine by Soderbergh. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's just minimal, and it doesn't need to be maximal because it's all about the characters, all about that screenplay, all about that dialogue, and all of that paying off in a finish. What a beautiful film. Really, really like this film, and I highly, highly recommend it. Obviously, it's our number one film of the year, and I'm sure Brandon Davis agrees. This is right there with his number. This is why we have so much more credibility than that motherfucker. That guy hasn't even seen it. He doesn't even know what The Christophers is. And yet Weber's the bad guy. Soderbergh became a hack more interested in film tech trends rather than quality. It sounds like a surprise. It is, Luis. I'm surprised I didn't see you there today. 4 o'clock, Dolby early access screening. It is playing at the Grove, Century City. I know New York as well, but not Burbank. So today was just like a 4 o'clock special thing. And I'm glad I went. Again, Soderbergh has disappointed very much so. Presence, no. What was the other one? Oh, Black Bag. Hell no. What a snooze. You talk about a snoozy film, Black Bag. This film... And I know when I said I was going to see this, I actually got a tweet from Menzel, and he's like, listen, no. Listen, this film is not asleep. This film it's not, there's not car crashes, there ain't chases, there's not a lot of action, there's no CGI. Nothing wrong with that. Again, not going to work for Brandon Davis, not going to work for Soups. But would you expect it to work for them? These are people that think that the latest Jurassic World is the greatest gift to cinema in the history of cinema. This is what we're talking about. These people are just laughably bad, in addition to being completely compromised. What a combination, right? not only are you awful at what you do, you're compromised. I mean, it's one thing if you're really good and compromised, right? Even that's problematic. But you're awful and compromised. I mean, what else? What are we going to throw in there in addition to that? Oh, that's right. Scumbag off air. I mean, wow. There's the triple threat, right? Unreliable, compromised, and shitty ethics. Oh, hey, everybody. Let's celebrate this person. Unbelievable. What is Soups? That's what I said, Kuzma. Soups hasn't seen this film. Soups is like, that's the thing. And yet Weber's the bad guy. This guy's the worst. All right, I'll take a couple comments and we're going to go to our next evaluation here tonight. It's a cool film. Next film is cool. And again, another surprise for me. It's a really low budget kind of thing. I was not expecting anything special. And here I am watching a 2026 version of Blair Witch. And that's next. British cinema has given us much wonderful acting talents. I mean, you talk about everyone on this list, and there's just something, let's just be honest, about the British accent. As soon as you hear it, you're just like, but listen, no, McKellen is one of our greats, okay? When you talk about him over his entire career and even in the later stages here, and what is so impressive about this film, in addition to everything I just said, is he's still giving a great performance here at the very end of his rope. And he still is giving us that stuff. You talk about it like a Jack Nicholson, right? Nicholson just fell off the face of the earth. He's like, I'm done. McKellen's like, you know what? I'll do this cool little two-hander about an artist who's a recluse now, and he's irascible, and he's got to work with this other up-and-coming artist, and they have some secrets. That's cool. You know, and I'm sure the shoot went pretty fast. You know, here's the thing I got to say about Soderbergh. He clearly shoots quick because he's cranking these movies out. He did not write this film. And I think that's important because we talk about how writers and directors aren't always synonymous, right? You have one thing better than the other. Soderbergh, I think, as a director, when it comes to just putting together a film like this, very accomplished, just minimal works. Writing into this, obviously handled by someone else, and then you get a good film. So Presence was such a letdown. You guys see that film? You know, the point of view from the ghost, not scary, not interesting, not well written. So again, you know, give Soderbergh a well-written script, and you're talking about a film that I would have, without question, is going to be in our top 10 films of the year. Certainly our top, we go to 15. Sometimes it's a good year, we'll stand it a little bit, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. But it should be there, and he will be one of our best performances of the year. There's no way he gets out of the top 5. It's that good, right? We're already into April. I know there's a lot of time left. We got award season, all that crap, but here's the deal. I know it when I see it. This is a very strong film, and it's something that I will definitely expect Neon to push when we get to award season. They have to make it a priority. That's their job. And I know that we have the Neon folks watch the stream. I told you guys I get texts from someone in the Neon office saying we sit around and watch you, and even though at times you make us crazy, we appreciate and we know that you are the real deal. And that's exactly it, right? I told you that. The studios all know who I am, okay? It doesn't matter. It's not why I do what I do. It doesn't care. Why do you think that is? Because they respect the word that comes out of my mouth. That's why. They don't respect the other people. They use those people. The studios know they can't use me. They know that whatever I am going to say is of my own volition. It is not ever for sale. It is never going to be compromised. And that makes me extremely, excruciatingly rare in the space. I would argue one of a very, very small subset of people. I mean, certainly under 10. I would suggest under 5 in the entire film space. And then you got to say this. And I mean this. You talk about not just the objectivity that we bring to the table, the fearlessness, but also the fact that we're good. You know, that's a triple threat hammer job on anyone else. You know, and it's true. You guys know that. Nobody's better. No one in this space, not one person. I don't care who you say, they're not better. So yeah, this is a really good comment. I really like that one. Let's go to Hunting Matthew Nichols. Let's do our next evaluation. Listen, again, another film I had no expectations for. I walked into and I'm like, wait a second. I like this a lot. If you liked Blair Witch, here comes the film to check out. It's called Hunting Matthew Nichols. Here comes a taste of it, and I'm going to do the evaluation live.
Two families are desperate for answers after their teenage sons disappeared without a trace.
The teens were out for Halloween activities on Wednesday evening, but the two were reported missing when they didn't return to their homes or show up for school the next morning.
Their families are holding out hope they'll be found safe.
He's gone, and he's not coming back.
My name is Tara Nichols. 22 years ago, my brother, Matthew Nichols, and his friend, Jordan Reimer, disappeared. They've never been found.
Matthew, I want you to know that there's a lot of people who care for you and are looking for you.
Okay, so there's the setup. It is a mockumentary, faux documentary, right? Okay, and then you have the found footage. So you got the combination of those two things, and it's extremely inspired by Blair Witch. I think that's one of the issues that I have with the film. It's too similar to the inspiration. Without question, this is, I'm not going to say it, an homage, not a love letter, but an homage to the Blair Witch Project. But it gives it a new life because of the documentary feel to it, right? It's not just the found footage. It's got a really nice assembly. I'm impressed by the direction here. Overall, for a small independent film, this looks clean. This looks good. The acting is very good across the board. Everyone's an actor, even though you're watching this documentary and you're believing these characters exist, right? That is good acting. Anytime you believe the characters are real and you're not watching a movie, go back to Tar, right? You look at, everyone thought that Cate Blanchett was playing a real life character. That's how four-dimensional that was written. Well, I think here you're talking about a group of people putting together this film, looking for her brother, and then you get all the Blair Witch stuff. And I think the finish delivers. You know, you're looking for that closing that doesn't let you down. You know, you've been building to this, where are we going? And then you get what you want. You know, I talk about that, and you go back to last year when you look at Begonia. I talk about that film a lot. One of the things I love about Begonia is it gives you exactly what it sells you throughout the entire film. A lot of films sell you this and then bait and switch and give you that. That film sells you on the alien and gives you the alien. Love. Okay, Begonia is really good. One of the best films of last year. Certainly his best film of the last three. Way better than Poor Things, and Kinds of Kindness I actually have above Poor Things. Poor Things is the worst of those three films, Begonia. But why? Because it delivers. This film does too. It gives you what you want at the end. And all in all, listen, 84% on a small independent film, I will take it. If you have this near you, I recommend it. Certainly an A-list film. As you know, you get 4 a week. So if you're going to go see something, you know, a lot of times you're wasting them. You're seeing something you don't really want to see. Go check this out. It's only on so many screens. It's like a studio I've never even heard of. So kudos to them for getting it to AMC here, at least AMC Burbank. I know it's a few places here and there, like one screening a day. But I would highly recommend it. If you can't find it theatrically, watch it when it comes out in on VOD or whatever the option is for streaming for you. A couple of comments here on this Sunday. If I didn't get to yours already, I will get to as many as possible. Did I get to this, Amari, already? Studios seeking influencers over authenticity is madness. I don't know if I got to this from earlier, but yes, I agree, Amari. You know, going back to our top story before we go into our last evaluation tonight, Exit 8. You know, listen, because they don't care. You know, the studios are full of inauthentic people. Hollywood is full of fake people, guys. Come on, man. I mean, that's the thing is the average actor is obviously acting. They're just doing a role. And I think that's what this town is full of, people that are playing roles, whether it's in front of the camera or behind the camera. And the difference between me and everyone else is I'm not playing a role. This is who I am. This is what I do. And I've talked about this a lot. You know, listen, the reason I'm able to do what I do and to live the way I live and just kind of like not give a fuck is I talk about this very often. I go back to when I was at my darkest point back in 2016. I was in a very depressive state that was just borderline, I don't want to be here anymore, okay? I would argue there. I mean, really there. And once you hit that rock bottom, we've talked about this many times. Once you've hit rock bottom and you've built yourself back up and you survive that, dude, nothing can touch you again. Nothing. And I think that had to happen. If that doesn't happen, I can't do what I'm doing tonight. So, you know, if you ever question why things are happening to you, just remember there's a reason. Whether it's God, if you believe in God, the spirit, whatever that is, there is some reason. The cosmos that is telling you that this is all for your benefit at some level, even if it feels like at the time it's not. And I can tell you that if not for that sequence of events and me being that low, I would never be able to do this because there's no one, you guys know this. Again, I don't care if we have 1 billion subscribers or 5. This is a channel I started to say what I believe about the films I watch, and to be authentic as hell. That was the number one mission, to never, ever pull a punch. And I don't think we have. I think we have always been relentlessly objective and relentlessly fearless and just out there and just not caring what anyone thinks. And I think that's so important. And for a lot of people, they just can't get there. And it's not saying you're a douchebag. You know, people say he's a douchebag. I just called people out tonight. Too bad it doesn't make me a douchebag. Being a douchebag is doing bad things. You know, cheating on your girlfriend. Call back, doing stuff with a technically almost a minor, right? According to the tape we watched. So what are we talking about? You know, I mean, that's the thing is that credibility is everything in this world, and so many people have none. And I would rather have all the credibility known to man than be a millionaire. I know that's for a lot of people like, what? I don't care. Doesn't matter. The money doesn't fucking matter. If you don't have your credibility, if you don't have, you know, your ethic, what you believe in, to do the right thing, and to usually 99% of the time do the right thing. And I think I've done that throughout my life. Just from my parents, the way I was raised, I think a lot of it just has to do with your hereditary. I think no question about that. There's environment in there, but ultimately, you know, you decide. You make those decisions. You know, in a moment of weakness, you make the weak choice. And I try not to. And I do my best every time. And I think that people just need to work harder at that. But I think ultimately, don't give a fuck what anyone says about whatever you do. Did Soups already rip into the Soups video yet, Chad? I don't know. Did he come in here? Is he here yet? If he is, I will. I'd love to bring him on. Which one? Which one are we talking about? I can hold on. We just watched the one for him saying the movie's great. I'll pull it back up for a second. Give me a second. I don't think we watched the end of it. This is Soups coming out of the Michael Jackson. We'll go back and watch the end because I couldn't watch anymore. He called it a love letter. Let's see how much longer it goes.
It was perfect. Coleman Domingo, early Best Supporting Actor nominee already. Like, I'm buzzing right now, guys.
Because they flew you to Germany, motherfucker.
It's insane that this movie exists. I know that.
Wait, it's insane the movie exists? Yeah, no one wanted to make a Michael Jackson biopic. Now, granted, all the off-field shit, whatever you think about that, but ultimately, once the time kind of passed, no one wanted to make a Michael Jackson biopic. It's amazing that anyone, you know, because the thing is, listen, you can think all you want about him. At the end of the day, Michael Jackson is the king of pop. He's the biggest artist of the 80s. You know, no one arguably was bigger than him. You know, listen, I got to say this, though. When I was talking about Soups, talking about this, the greatest musical biopic of all time, there's no way it's better than Elvis. You know why? Because Baz Luhrmann's a better director than Fuqua. I already know that. So there's no way artistically this film's better than that film. No way. No chance. Elvis is definitely better than it. Even with that god-awful Tom Hanks impersonation bullshit that he was doing in that film.
You know, there were some reports about like the whole third act being reshot. Didn't feel it at all watching the film. It was a cohesive story.
Now, by the way, it's almost like he's got talking points, right? Because look, now he's talking about the third act. You heard about how it was reshot. I didn't see it. These are talking points from the studio. 100%. Well, let's listen to one more time, and I'll stop and say when it's a talking point from the studio. Lionsgate, welcome to the show, big guys. Welcome to the show. Good job paying Soups off. Nice work tonight.
It flowed really well, and it ends in a very electric way that I don't want to spoil, but there's going to be more to look forward to in the future.
Well, what a surprise. So here he is, one more time, resetting our top story here tonight, and I'll get to our third evaluation. We have one more tonight, and I can do a little bit extra tonight because why not? I mean, listen, you guys all wanted me to drag Soups. I already dragged him. Guys, go back and watch. If you missed it, go back to YouTube, go to Midnight Movie Talk, watch from the top, or even on Twitter right now. You can roll back and go to the beginning right now. We're live. You can just go back and watch from the beginning. So Soups gets a 5-star treatment flown to Germany, to Berlin, right? Hold on, one more time. Let's go back and listen to this one more time. He's in Berlin. He says in the top, here we go. Hold on.
I'm currently at the Michael World premiere in Berlin, and we're about to watch the movie.
Okay, so he got flown to Berlin. Lionsgate paid for all that. They put him in 5-star accommodations. They give him per diem, or they just have, meals throughout the day for everybody who's there for the thing. Okay, like during the premiere, I'm sure there's a premiere party with food and stuff afterwards. But during the day, he's out. He didn't have to go to his event until like 12 or 1 o'clock. There's a press conference. He can go get breakfast downstairs at the 5-star breakfast place inside the 5-star hotel, the Mandarin Berlin. Is there one? And then he can expense account, right? They just say, whatever you want, take it. It's good. Then he goes to lunch, same thing. Then he goes to the party and here's what do you need, buddy? Then he comes out and he holds his microphone and he starts
We'll catch
saying
you guys
this.
after.
Guys, I just got out. That is the best musical biopic of all time and one of the greatest theater experiences of my life. The entire theater from start to finish was singing, dancing. It was electric. This man, Jafar Jackson, he just gave the performance to beat for the rest of the year. I can't say enough about it. His voice from his first line of dialogue had the theater going crazy because he's just that good. His singing, his dancing, he brought the heart and soul to every single scene he's in. The entire cast too. It wasn't just Jafar, but man, he's got to be nominated for Best Actor already, bro. He's just that good.
The talking
the
points,
songs, the scenes. There's so much to talk about, dude. It's perfect. This is the movie we wanted. This is the ultimate love letter.
Oh, there it is. There it is. This is the movie we wanted, right? That's a talking point. And then this is a love letter, right? That's it. Hold on a second. Hold on. Wow, I didn't see this, guys. You see this from back in January? This is your reminder that Matt Ramos, a.k.a. Soups, is a horrible person and only thinks about himself and almost drove his ex-manager to near suicide. Also, F Marvel for inviting him to cry. Remember he cried during the trailer? Oh, hey, Cord said this. You're a fake fraud who loves to... Whoa, what? Wait a second. I can't show that tweet. Good Lord, you guys can go find that. What in the hell? Wow, the things that we find. No, you know what? He has no integrity. He's a total shill. And that's the thing is, right? Listen, guys, Weber's the bad guy. I said it from the top. How am I? Explain to me how I'm the fucking bad guy. How am I the guy who films this guy's so problematic? It's the worst thing ever created in the entire film space. Because I drag Fantasy for being overrated. I drag Ramos for being a shill. I drag Brandon Davis for being a scumbag. Oh, I'm terrible. Weber's the bad guy. How dare you? You don't speak nicely. You need to be nicer to people. That's this younger generation. Bunch of fucking wimps, man. Seriously, dude, if you don't want to get called out, then don't do the shit. Soups is doing the shit, man. What do you want me to do? Sit here and go, okay, I guess I'm not the only one. I don't even care. I didn't even say he's a shitbag person off air. I had no idea. Oh, did he block us? I can't find Ramos anymore. Damn it, man. Hold on. This is very disappointing. I think he absolutely during the stream got rid of us. No, hold on. Let's find out. Here he is. I wonder if let's find out what happens. Is he gonna? By the way, hold on. Let me find. So, by the way, he's always been doing is tweeting Michael Jackson shit ever since he went. Okay, here it is. Ready? Okay, here it is. This is what he just said, only in a tweet. It's perfect. Jafar Jackson gives performance of a lifetime. Ultimate love letter. Same shit, right? Same thing. The movie we wanted. Those are all talking points, right? Everything there is a talking point. Look how many impressions. 3.4 million impressions. So you fly him to Berlin. You have him say these things like a fucking pull toy. And he's love letter. Okay, and then he's pulling the pull toy. And there he is in his 3.4 million impressions, and now you've sold the movie. So now you paid for his flight. You probably paid him money. Remember, we showed you earlier, guys. Look, back to the top. He was paid $8,500 by Paramount to, as I quote here, to produce content hyping the film. $8,500. So remember, this is news to me. I thought they just got access. He's getting paid cash. I have never been paid $8,500 for anything in Hollywood. Okay, nothing. No one's ever paid me $8,500. I used to be on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno as one of the bit players because my buddy was the casting director, and he'd bring me in, and I played all kinds of roles. The biggest check I ever got was $1,000 for a role. $1,000. I have never been $8,500 for anything, let alone promoting a movie. I haven't paid $85 for promoting a movie, let alone $8,500. He just bought a house? Wow. Yeah, because here's the thing. Beach House, welcome to the show, by the way. Here's the thing, is corruption pays. Guys, look at Congress. Look at these congressmen who go in, and women who go into office getting paid $140,000 a year, whatever, 200, whatever the number is, right? And they come out with like 58 million. How is this possible? Because they're corrupt. They're taking money. They're getting kickbacks. Soups is the congressperson of Hollywood when it comes to, quote, critics and shills. This motherfucker will take any dollar he can get. And he's got a house. I don't have a house. He's got a house. You know why? Because he's corrupt. If I was corrupt, I'd have a house. I'm not corrupt. Not for sale. Stream will always be the Riddler's channel from the Batman because we say things that get us in trouble. Too bad. Don't care. I could never even do the Joe Rogan show because we talked about how dragons exist, and here he is down in Antarctica. Don't get me started tonight. That's all there. That instantly gets you flagged. They're like, this guy's trouble. You don't think the AI algorithm knows that I'm trouble? Trust me. They know. They are very aware. All you got to do is watch a stream and go, this guy's, you can't control him. This is bad news. Keep this guy down. Suppress this motherfucker. Because, of course, because no one has ever accused me of being a shill or being inauthentic or being compromised. No one. Not one person. Isn't that amazing? Why? Because they know there's nothing. They can't even, it's not even can't. You can't even create that. They can't even manufacture that bullshit. They have to create, he's mean, he's a problem, he's this, he's that. They can't get anything on the actual character. Because if I were totally corrupt, more money, living in a nice house like Ramos, it's fine. It's all good. My point is he's willing to do the shit I'm definitely not willing to do. Whatever that is. Yeah, but Joe Rogan has to be at some point. Listen, here's the deal. I'm going to make this very clear, right, Jason? It's simple. Here's the deal. When you get to a point that you are big, okay, I don't care who it is, Theo Von, Joe Rogan, whoever it is, Tucker Carlson, whoever it is, doesn't matter who you are, clavicular, you have to play the game. If you do not play the game, if you play some kind of alternate game and you're not playing by the rules that they set, and they being the people in charge, the real people, then you're done. They're not going to have that shit, okay? You'll be eradicated, okay? So here's the deal. I'm never, even if we somehow manage to like get some viewers, it will always be suppressed because ultimately the algorithm knows that I'm trouble. They know that I'm not for sale. You know how many people in this world are not for sale? Do you have any idea? It's very, very low. In fact, what's that? I just saw the quote going around a few days ago. It's an old quote, but it's basically, I'm surprised at how many people are for sale and how low the price is. I'm not for sale. Serious to God. If Warner Brothers came to me and said, here is $100,000, you have to say Lee Cronin's The Mummy is the greatest film of the year, the best horror film ever made, I'd be like, okay, here's the deal. I need to see the film, and if I really believe it, I'll take your $100,000, but I will never say it without saying that. And they'd be like, well, no, that's not how it works. Well, I said, that's how it works for me. So what are we talking about? I watch the film. If I agree, you give me the money, I'll say it. I mean, I'd say it either way, but that's why they won't pay me, because they know I'm not for sale, because they're like, he'll say it either way. Like Neon tonight. Neon has gone back and forth with me. They're like, I love, I hate, I love, I hate. I just called The Christopher's the best film of the year, and Sir Ian McKellen had better be a best actor contender. He better be. Okay? I'm not for sale. Neon didn't pay me a penny for that. They did send me the box set. Big deal. Who fucking cares? Box set. But I'm saying no money was exchanged. No one's ever paid me. Neon's never reached out and paid me anything. A24's certainly never paid me anything. Warner Brothers, no. Disney, no. Sony, no. Paramount, no. Netflix, no. Did I get a meal at like an event? Yeah, but that's not payment. I never took $8,500 from the studio and said, let's promote Snake Eyes. You see the problem? So here's the thing. It is all about the money for most people. Well, and listen, we can watch it another night. I've done enough about Soups tonight. But listen, I don't even need to know. I don't need to watch a whole video. It's very simple. Soups is a bad person because he's corrupt. He's taking money from the studios to say things just to get access and get paid. He's a fucking hooker. He's a prostitute. Soups is a Hollywood prostitute. Like I said, he belongs on Sunset Boulevard, Hollywood Boulevard at 2:00 in the morning. He's that bad. He's that bad. He's 100%. The article says, Soups, you got a problem with what I have to say? Then explain to me why this article from The Wrap says you got paid $8,500 to promote that. Right here. How is this not a bigger story? He got paid $8,500 for Snake Eyes. That's right. I got paid with a meal. I also, by the way, if you want to pay Gore, you just give him a bunch of Trulies because he's an alcoholic. Give him like 10 Trulies. I'm just going to say something. I'm going to say this as nice as possible. Please, I'm going to try to make this constructive. Please listen to me, guys. Tell me if I go off a little bit here. I saw Gore the other day. Gore, you got to stop drinking. He looks like he's gained 30 pounds. He looks like he's aged 50 years in like 3 years. Gore looks terrible, okay? And that's as nice as I can put it. He looks bad. So, and that's not, again, I'm saying this as a former friend. Chris Gore, you need to clean up your act. You look like a mess. Okay? No one said that about me because I'm at the gym tomorrow. I'm going to the gym. I'm doing these things. I'm only saying this for your health. I'm not saying you look bad, haha. People are thinking that, and that's not what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. For your health, you need to stop drinking 7 Trulies a night. You got to stop, dude. Okay? Again, I'm telling you, man, I was shocked. When you don't see someone for a while, then you see them, and you go, what the fuck? Okay, imagine this. If I stop doing streams, and I come back on in a month and a half, 2 months, and I've gained 20 pounds, you guys are going to say something. What happened, Weber? What happened? You look bloated. You look different. What's up? You look unhealthy. Okay? Now, granted, that if it's skinny, then unless I'm already thin, I'm saying it could be a disease. I don't think Gore has a disease. He had a stroke, but I'm just saying, honestly, from a former friend, from someone who doesn't, I don't wish ill will to Chris Gore. I just think that he took the money and ran just like everybody else. These people are all about that, and I'm not. And it's just so disappointing when constantly people disappoint you, right? Over and over, people disappoint you, and he just needs to get in the gym and stop drinking so much. And I mean, just being around him years ago, he definitely has an alcohol problem. No question about that. And, that's an issue that you've got to address. I talk about when I was in college, I was an alcoholic, man. Dudes, you guys have no idea. My freshman and sophomore year of high school, high school I had some drinks too, but not as many as in college. In college, I would get so hammered down at the bars in Ohio State, right? We'd go to the bars like Mean Mr. Mustard's and Purity, and I danced to because that's when I was doing my rave DJ stuff. I was starting to come up through that scene, and I did all that, and I would get hammered, man. I'm talking so like lights out, blackout, walking down High Street, not knowing where I am. I can't believe I'm alive today kind of shit. So I've been there. I now don't. I mean, I have a beer here and there, but I do not get blotto. The last time I got blotto was in New York City with my ex-mother-in-law, who's now passed, and we were at the Plaza Hotel, and I was so excited to be there, and it's like, super nice hotel, and I wasn't paying for it, so I was super excited. And I sat there with her, and we drank, like, I'm not kidding you, I had 10 like rum and some kind of sweet thing. I just like 1, 2, 3, and we're just talking, having a good time. We're in New York. So I woke up the next day, and I felt like someone bashed my head in with a hammer. I was like, oh my God. And you ready for this shit? I had a meeting with my news agent at the time that same day. An agent. So in news, you have an agent. I had an agent in New York City. And I was like, you're going to meet your agent for the first time. And I'm like, oh my God. In the meeting, I was like, we were only there for like a day or two. So I had to go meet him in person. I went to that meeting so fucking hungover. I didn't know what I was just, I mean, I can't even imagine what that agent thought. I mean, I don't think I had him much longer after that, because he's probably like, this guy's a disaster. And guess what? That's the last time I ever got that drunk. The absolute last time. I hate to say, I remember an MMT episode from 2023 where Gore called in, he was drunk. Oh yeah, for sure. 100%. Okay, let's do the last, just quick, and then I'll go to the comment blast closeout. I want to quickly go to our last evaluation because I teased it and I don't want to miss it. I'm not nearly as high on this film as I was the other ones, but I still think that I talked about it. I need to put it on. Let's do it quickly. It's called Exit 8. It's not going to take long. Here is just a touch of that film. Give me 1 second to cue it, and we're off and running here on Exit 8. 1 second. Here we go. Ready? 1 sec. This is what happens when you're live and all of a sudden shit goes sideways. Give me a second. Just hang with me. I'm doing what I can. Ready, get set, and this is the biggest dead space we've ever had on the channel. I'd like you guys to know. Everyone who's ever watched, like, yep, that was the biggest dead space we've ever seen in our lives on this channel. Here comes Exit 8. Ready, set, and go.
異変を見逃さないこと。異変を見つけたらすぐに引き返すこと。
こっちじゃない。
異変が見つからなかったら引き返さないこと。8番出口から外に出ること。
Okay, let's get started. You can see it here. This dude is trapped in the subway in Tokyo, and he's trying to get out. And everywhere he goes, there's no exit. Okay, that's the film for an hour and a half. This should have been a short. That is the takeaway from Exit 8, is that this thing runs out of steam really quick. And you get this repetitive structure. I'm stuck in the subway. It's labyrinthine. Which way am I going to go? I need to find exit 8 and then back to exit 0 and then 1 and then 2 and then there's a kid. All this stuff over and over and over. Very little narrative whatsoever except you're trapped in the subway. Decent direction. I mean, I guess it's based on a video game. That's okay. Again, the takeaway here on exit 8 is it's a short. I mean, it is not a feature. I'm giving it a 60%. I got up or down because if you like the game, fine, whatever. If you have no interest in the game, Exit 8 is a hard skip. It's a Neon film, so Neon, sorry, you're 1-1 tonight. Exit 8 is okay at best, boring at worst, and I would argue the worst comes out here more than the best. And there's our short evaluation. I think, did we do that in a minute? That was impressive. Can I get a little bit of love tonight? All right, let's do it. It's time for the CBC, the Comment Blast Closeout on this Sunday. If I didn't get to your comment, I will. Let's check the latest poll here. Give me 1 second. Who is our... Let me look here. It looks like it's Ramos has won with 67% of the vote. Is that right? Is that, it's hard for me to see. I swear to God, 67, yes, a 60. Oh no, I got to do it. It won with 67%. Oh my God, that was not planned. I so apologize if that offended anyone. I don't blame you. It's time for the Comment Blast Closeout. Here's our track that we opened the night with, and it's a cool track. It's a remix by Jerome Isma-A, who's this German DJ. I just like, he's got a dark, almost, Pride-y kind of progressive techno kind of thing going on. Cool track called Animals. I'll link it in the YouTube live stream information when the stream is over. Let's get to as many comments as possible, and then we're out of here on this Sunday. I'll start with the most recent because some of you are still here. Everyone else is long gone. Are you offended by what? Are you offended by what? The entire channel, Coach? Or the fact that we didn't talk about your girl tonight? Which one? Dupes. He is a dupe. Soupy Doopy. That's his new name. Soupsy Doopsy. It's okay when you take your time. I'm doing my best, I tried it. I'm doing it all by myself. Yeah, everyone's excited for that Backrooms. It's like a version of Backrooms. I hope Backrooms is way better than this, because this had me like completely zoned out really, really early. Genuine question, where does Scoops go from here? Is he destined to be a yelling ape way into his 30s? That's a great question. No one's calling him on it. This ends as soon as everyone starts jumping into his comments and saying, you're a fraud, stop. How much did Lionsgate pay you? I can only do that so much. That's why, I try to get you guys involved, because I can't do that work. Listen, I tell you guys all the time, when I'm done with the stream, I'm kind of done. Like, I'm not going to go on Soups and say, you're a shill, watch this. You guys can do that. I like to do what I do and then be done with it. Like today, I saw the movie, I did the stream, we're good. And if you want to go attack Soups, go for it. I think it's worthy. I think it's a good cause. I think that it ends when, here's the deal, Beach House. It ends when everyone starts to shout them down. Because just like anything, when the minority becomes the majority and people start saying you are paid by the studios, your word is worthless, you are a shill, over and over and over, there's no running from that. Even the studios don't want any part of that. So I think that that's the key, is that you have to be very vocal, and that's what we do. We call people out. No one's better than we are at calling out the shit. By the way, tonight's kit, does this look familiar, everyone? Look closely at tonight's kit, and then look in the corner. What do you see? I'm wearing tonight's the official when I took that picture way back when, I have the Newell Old Boys jersey on tonight from Argentina. This is Messi's first team. I love getting my rare. This is pretty hard to get. This is like, I think last season's really cool. Don't forget, I got the league patch. There it is. See it? League patch. I don't mess around. My kits are always authentic, and they always have the patches. If they don't have the patches, then I don't want it. I don't want I told you guys 100 times. Okay, guys, more comments here, and we're out of here. We're over an hour, and at this point, listen, if I'm over an hour, I did my job, right? Would you agree with me here that once I've done my, hour, I'm good? Yeah, I think so. All right, here we go. You guys ready? Let's hit it. Hold on one second. Let's do a couple more comments, and we're out of here. Where is it? Comments. I lost my comment. Weber. Are you drunk, Weber? Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. Because here's two things I really like doing now. I'll take these off for the last few minutes so you guys can actually see that I have eyes. Here's the deal. I like my football kits and I like my graphics. That's what I enjoy more than anything now. Look, this is all, I create all this. No, I don't pay a graphic artist. This is all done by me. Everything that you see on the show, except for like pushing a couple buttons, which Gone Girl was helping earlier, is gone now, is me. And that's what that's just like an artistic expression across the board. So I think that's kind of fun to be able to do that. I get more kicks out of the kits and the art sometimes than the movies. I think tonight was fun because we got a little bit of everything, and I think we did what we do best. We called out the people. And, if that makes me the bad guy, I don't give a fuck. Make me the villain. That's not the villain. I'm the hero. I'm the fucking hero of the space. Nobody goes as hard as me. Don't anyone mention like fantasy? What are we talking about? Seriously, you're going to compare me to Sean Fantasy? That's frankly like incredibly disrespectful to me. Like seriously, it really is. It's like if anyone ever said that, it'd be like, you know what? Like that's it. Your disrespect level has just reached a new level. So I can't have it. We can't have that anymore. Nickelodeon just got hacked and their Avatar, the Airbender movie, got leaked. Seriously? Oh my God. No. Good question. Thank you. The scar looks better. I don't know if you guys can see it. I put some like scar stuff on it, but what I really want is, do you guys see? This is coming in nice. So look, it's a full on. Do you see it? Yes or no? This is going to be long. This is going to keep going. It's driving me crazy. I came this close to cutting it off the other night, but I'm going to grow it out so that it's a full-on 90s mullet, and it's going to stay at that point, and you're going to have to just love it. You're going to have to love it, okay? Well, listen, did I tell you guys, I cut my own hair. Hey, I admit this. It's very easy. Guys, you have no idea how easy it is. I should post a video how easy it is. You get yourself a nice pair of clippers, and then you can run the length, like the side here. Okay, so look, this is all cut by me. I just cut it like tonight. This is a 3. You get out a 3 guard, you put it on, and you go zoop, 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 you're done, okay? You leave everything else behind. If I do the top is like 7 or 8, and then you can mix that up. And once you do it a couple times, you never need to go to a barber again. And by the way, no one has ever said, and I've said this before, I've talked about this before. I did it when I was on the news. People never have said, you look like you cut your own hair. I'm not saying like it's perfect, but you know how much money I've saved from cutting my own hair? You have any idea how much dudes, you're talking about how much is the haircut now? $40 with tip? At least 40. So I've saved thousands of dollars. Thousands for a pair of like high-end clippers that you can get for like $100. I got mine at Ross. They're really good ones. They're yeah, well, that's because you know what, Jacob, that's because that's content that people, right? Like I talked about with Brandon Davis. They're not watching Brandon Davis. They're watching the Marvel. They're not watching Brandon Davis. I would argue when you watch MMT, you're watching me. You're not watching, the content, but you're watching me deliver the content. When you're watching Brandon Davis, you're watching the content. It doesn't really matter who's delivering it. I think that's fair. I think you guys, tell me if that's not fair before we go. If what I said is not fair, you tell me right now. I will honestly abide by whatever you say. I think people watch MMT for me. People watch Brandon Davis for the content. Does that, you see the difference? Huge difference between those two things. Huge, right? So in other words, I've done streams that have like garbage content. People still watch because they're watching for the talent, not for the content. With them, they're watching for the talent, for the content, not the talent. Does that make sense to you guys? Seriously. I know that. Just tell me it doesn't. I'll go with whatever you say. But I make a good Sinestro. But look, flex time. Flexed. Look. But I tell you guys, I go to the gym. Come on, man. I'm allowed to flex once in a while, aren't I? Yeah. Look, Check it out. So this is it's absolutely ridiculous how this hair looks right now, but I'm gonna keep it. It is because I almost, but here's the deal. I almost shaved all of this off. See all that? I almost cut it all off, and I said, nah, let it go. It's already like crazy as fuck how it is. A couple more comments right here. By the way, I need to like white balance this. I look orange. Does that look better? No, hold on. No, that doesn't. See, do I look orange? This is too much. Hold on, let me kick that back. Yeah, I gotta get the camera's making me look orange. I didn't get that much sun. That's sun today. Thank you. I appreciate it, Jacob. I feel like that's true. I feel like it's true. I think it's fair. Okay, guys, that's gonna do it here tonight. Thanks for watching Influencer Hell on MMT. We're back on Thursday. Listen, come in the comments. Not now. You can if you want. But come in the comments after this video posts on Midnight Movie Talk on YouTube. Tell me, what do you want me to see? Lee Cronin's The Mummy or Mother Mary? That's Thursday. One or the other. Mother Mary might be the AMC Screen Unseen tomorrow. If it is, then we'll knock that out tomorrow, and we'll have a reaction with The Mummy on Thursday, both those evaluations. But if it's not, I've got to pick. And I almost really want to pick The Mummy because I want to know, especially if it's like unwatchable. I hated Evil Dead Rise. So if it's bad, anything like that or worse, then I'm going to be dragging Brandon Davis again because he just said it's like the scariest, most amazing film ever. Like, of course, you'd expect him to because he got invited to the press conference. All right, guys, that's going to do it. Live from LA. Thanks for being here. Always a pleasure. We'll see you back here on Thursday night. Good night from Los Angeles.